Wow, it's a beautiful morning. Good morning to you, good day to you, wherever you're joining us or watching us from. This is Galaxy Television and the program is Family and Values. How was your weekend? Okay, this is my word for you this morning. For each morning, let there be flow of love. I hope you have that flow of love in you this morning, because that's what's going to be part of making your week, your day. And also, let there be light of happiness in your direction. Every direction you turn, try in your own heart, in your soul, in your spirit, to make sure that there is a little kind of love and happiness in every of your direction. On that note, I want to welcome you. My name is David. This is where we talk about those things that matters when it comes to families. And in that respect, I want to believe that as much as we are counting down to someone's birthday, you are really ready for some heating up in your wardrobe and everything that you have to do. So my beautiful mission this morning is to welcome our darling birthday girl tomorrow. Joy Eyabo, how are you?
Good morning.
I added some to it. Wait till tomorrow.
This one you just got the
Wait till tomorrow. I added something else to it.
Okay.
You'll be amazed.
Good morning to our Xavier. It's always good to have you on Family and Values. It's always good when you see us on your beautiful screen, because yes, like I used to say, when you see this beautiful place, it's time for Family and Values. Yes, you know, Larry had already called my name is, but I forgot to say my name is Joy. Welcome to Family and Values. Yes, tomorrow, let me go there. Tomorrow, let me go leave there first.
Okay, so God will take us through tomorrow, because today is still a very new day, and a lot of beautiful things await each and every one of us. And that's my prayer for you. Beautiful things await you. And because beautiful things await you and I, just keep your fingers crossed. And please, do the right thing. Do it well. And God will bless the work of our hands. Tell me, how was your weekend?
My weekend was restful. I didn't stress. I was literally sleeping here because I was preparing myself for birthday on Tuesday. You know, I said, no, don't stress. Just calm down.
Just be calming down. Be calming down. It's good to calm down.
I love to be calming down.
I want to say a big thank you to all our crew on Family and Values, everyone in Galaxy Television for always being here on time at the right time. A beautiful shout out to our president in person of Chief Steve Ojo. Thank you to all our guests too. We're not leaving anyone unattended to. We appreciate you and all our lovers, our feedbacks, and everyone will find time to say hi, hello, like, follow us. Thank you so much. So we are going for a mini feature right now, even as we go to the business of the day. We'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So Family and Values, and today is going to be a one serious day when we talk about what exactly family needs to take cognizance of. And when we talk about cognizance, those important aspects of our lives that gives us peace of mind, that will actually help us to be focused on those little future that we are still breathing. Okay, so this morning we have the honor of having in our midst the Deputy Superintendent of Corps in person of Oluwaseun Aboluni. He is FCS, FCSS, NPA, ANB, ANIPR, Civil Defense PRO, Lagos State Command. It's so good to have you this morning. Fret not, our people.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our fellowship. This is our fellowship.
Yeah, it's our fellowship.
Don't wait. He's here to talk to us on what we need to do as a family. So, this fellowship, we are welcoming you.
Thanks so much.
Welcome.
How's the family?
Family, we thank God.
How was your weekend?
The weekend was very great.
Okay, let me ask you a family question.
All right.
Now the children are going to be on holidays.
Okay.
What are your plans for your kids?
Yes.
Because you'll be doing the service to the nation. So what are plans you have for your kids with your wife?
Yes, create some time with them. Take some time out of work to be able to listen and communicate with them. Get their impulse, their feedback. over time when they've been in school and now that they are coming back for holidays, and show them around in the States, in some places like malls, to get one or two.
Will you be in uniform doing that?
Yeah, it's even lovely to do that.
Yeah,
So
because
that
my daddies.
yeah, so they are proud of civil defense, they are proud of their dad, civil defense.
Wow.
And they're also proud, most times they call me PRO.
Okay, so I usually have a tradition of picking something from
Okay, so
as you know, tomorrow is my birthday. But I've looked at it, there is nothing I'm going to pick from. I just want to admire your adoration.
you try and pick.
I can't pick anything.
Please pick. You will see that before you step out, somebody will be there to
I don't
handle you.
anything, but I just want to admire you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you. So now we want to talk about the family. Safety, my safety, with the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps. My safety. What is my safety? To you, what is safety? Your corps, your command, what is safety? And again, when we talk about safety, how does it apply to you, to families, to civilians out there? Because civilians are families.
Yes.
They are not security agents like you. So how does it apply to them when we talk about security, safety?
Yes, first I want to say good morning to Nigerians and also thank profoundly the State Commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Lagos State Command, Mr. Leader of Sunday Kashi, who also approved that I'll be here to speak to fellow Nigerians and only this fellowship, like you called it this morning. Yes, safety is not first, is not what is not common to virtually everyone else. It's just the application to ensure that we are now safe. That is the major challenge. It's an act of being safe, it's an act of taking measurements that will ensure that people are safe at every place that they are, maybe at workplace, the home space, and every other place that they could find themselves. Now, safety in itself, either be psychological, it could be emotional, it could be environmental, it could be biological, looking at kinds of safety. But to a layman, he doesn't want to hear or she doesn't want to listen to all the vocabularies around safety. What people want to know is, how can I be safe? In case there is danger, or in case there is an unexpected danger, how can I proactively ensure that people that I left at home, my words, children, families, are safe? And I'll now come and say, thank you, God. So how can we be safe? In the workplace, there are a lot of things that we must, avoid. Dangerous sports, live equipment. If you look at the station where we are right now, there are live equipment around where people are not supposed to touch, people are not supposed to sit on, people are not supposed to even go and test whether this is live or not, in the bid to avoid any casualty and any mortality, eventually. So in workplaces, in home places, we need to label live equipment, we need to label dangerous sports, also for children. For example, acid. Acid is not something that you put, in the glare of children or even adults. They must be labeled. When you are placing things that are very inimical, that are very destructive, that are combustible, in your home, in your house, in the church, religious centers, anywhere people will gather, you must ensure that you label them so that people will be able to differentiate what is actually a milk from an acid, what's actually injurious from what is friendly, so that they would not be committing error, either of omission or commission, that may actually lead to casualty or mortality. Also in schools, the NSCDC as a whole is the lead agency in school safety initiative and policy of the federal government, where we now also have other the military, the police, and other security agencies, working together as a collective body in a very single unit that we call the Coordination Center, which is established now in Abuja and will also be domiciled in other states of the Federation. So in schools, we must ensure that our children, our school children, are safe by letting them know safety tips that actually keep them safe. Maybe I should continue.
Okay, yes, I love the fact that you've talked a lot about safety. Now let's talk about domestic issues when it comes to safety. For me, I feel like if are the agencies that families are very close to.
Definitely, you are grassroots.
Aside the neighborhood, I feel like if there is any issue, if there is a domestic issue in the house, people are the first point of contact that someone can easily run to, because people are everywhere. But now, what's the role of NSCDC when it comes to safety in domestic issues? When we talk about domestic violence, when we have to do with women, with children, because now, like you said, schools are on vacation, and there's going to be a lot we are going to be hearing about it when it comes to domestic, and because we just want our viewers to understand that safety at this point is key, and this is where we are driving that knowledge from. We are making them understand that even at your home, the comfort of your environment, children being cautioned on how to avoid being kidnapped, how to avoid being used, because this period, parents will be going to work, kids will be home. You know, we started last week by giving out some safety tips. Oh, take the don't tell your children to open the door. But now, coming from you, what are those safety measures you would reach out to parents when it comes to children domestically now? Because they are going to be home. They are going to be home this period. So what are those things you're going to tell parents that please watch out for? So that you don't come running back from work, or somebody is calling you and saying, oh, your child missing, the child strode and something happened to the child. So what are those measures when it comes to domestic safety?
Yes, I think it is now high time for parents themselves to work with the community development associations in neighborhoods where they live, and also work with the neighbors that they live with. This is not the time to isolate yourself, that I live in a compound of maybe 5 flats, 6 flats, or 4, thereabout, and I just want to leave my family and I go to work, go to church, come back home, and that is all. No, this is the time to identify with ourselves. This is time to live, to bring back the communal life that Africans are known for. Not the egalitarian kind of life, the classic kind of life, because when it happens, the people that you shy away from are those that you now later run to for the safety that we are talking about. And this time it won't be really safety, it will now be to look for a missing child, a missing girl, a missing man, a missing woman. We have heard on social media, you know, which is actually the space these are children, our words, and our young adults want to listen to or want to watch today, not the conventional TV and the conventional papers. And that's where they get some of these, you know, misbehaviors from, misconduct, especially the gross ones that they also perpetrate. Okay, so now is the time for parents to caution their children on the use of phone excessively, abysmally. While they are in school, a lot of schools don't allow children who are not up to the rightful age by law to use these devices. But parents sometimes obey the laws in the schools, but when they get home, they do something different. And now you know that the holidays are here, they will want to do this something different excessively more. So such parents and those who are intending to join them must know that when you allow your children to be on the devices, that they are not matured enough. We're not saying that you cannot, because you have the means. But you might have the means to provide a child a car, but the child may not be matured enough to obey traffic rules, ethics, and ethos of the land. So also when we talk about the family, so these children might not be matured enough to screen certain pictures, certain videos, because they are not basic. You understand? That's now? True. They don't have the prerequisite knowledge for screening, for profiling, for ensuring that I don't allow these to be consumed by my heart or by my mind, so that I won't be endangered, because we actually act based on what we hear and what we are influenced by, and what we also read. So now parents need to caution their children on the use and the excessive use of devices, what they read, what they watch. That's one. The other area we should look at is strange movements must be reported. It must be reported, because we are in the days where people will go to their workplaces and the next call that we hear by maybe a neighbor who just strolls in the evening is that, oh, they just broke your window, oh, they just took your generator. And you can look at the economic times that we have today. That's not in your plan, that's not in your budget, and you begin to run up and down. That's even a good one. What if somebody just comes in and endangers somebody's life, rape the wife, rape the children, and all of that? Because they will all be home right now, and it's very important. I want parents to take this very serious and not lightly. We must report strange movements, not just to ourselves.
So how do we do this?
Yes, you can come up to security agencies like the NSCDC and report strange movements in the environment.
I also want to cut in now. Between you and the police, I know you're all security agents. Do we come first to NSCDC or we should go first to the police? Which one directly? More, because there's confusion. That's why you're here this morning. And that's why I'm not saying, I just want it to be a known thing to mothers out there, to find many. See, you heard somebody say, when I see you people dressed like this, I love it. You understand? You understand? So it simply means something. They want to know what is your good to me as a civilian, as a father, as a mother. So now, do we take it seriously to come to you when we see the strange movement? Because we're on strange movements now. Do we take it upon ourselves and say, okay, let me go to NCDC. It's in Alausa now, very close to the governor's office. It's not just in Alausa, it's in all the divisions where you have your local government. You have 50 divisions across Lagos State. Okay, so we can just approach them.
You can approach them. You don't have to come to the state headquarters. Okay, I can say for Nigeria Security and
strange movements.
Okay, if you want to report strange movements, just go to all our divisions across where you live. Okay, where you inhabit, and report these cases. And I must tell you, security has gone beyond naming and one particular agency of government for response. You are also a responder. You are also supposed to take security as your business. Because if life is lost,
you are concerned.
You are concerned because you are the one that will actually bear the brunt. So security is not for security agencies. We must correct these issues.
Thank you.
Security is not for security agencies alone. Security is your business. It's the business of the market woman. It's the business of the pastor, the clergy. It's the business of the president. It's the business of the governor. It's the business of the first lady. Security is everybody's business. It's also the business of your house help. Your house help should be able to give you information when you are not around. When you have a house help and the person is not giving you information, you ask what happened. Like you will say, Kilo Chele, what happened today? Say nothing. Tomorrow, nothing. You should be aware of that kind of person. Because that person is not communicating to you. That person is not giving you intelligence that you can use to stop, crimes that may actually be easily forestalled if you are actually informed.
You know why we are discussing? Because the kids are home. See, as parents, you're leaving the house, your heart is in your hands. You're like, hey, God. Especially when you live in a prone environment where you have migrants. And like something happened this morning on my way to work, and I saw 2 school students on bike pressing phone. One was taking ice, and he was bringing out, the smoke on bike. And when there are certain things you see, you have no choice than to shout. And I was like, what are you doing on bike? And he was really taking, and this is a student
going to school.
Like, he gets to school, his eyes were already red.
Right.
Like, you get to school now. Maybe a teacher would say, sit down before you're going to slap. Or you're calling a child, a girl, come here, and then she doesn't, before you know it, you want to break the child. Because very early in the morning, you're intoxicated. Now, that is a student going to school. Let's talk about the ones that are in the corners of the streets. We're constantly there. In my area, we have them a lot. The early morning, they're not doing anything. And you're near your kids, and you're going to work. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And then maybe your child wants to go and buy something. And along the line, one brother is calling the child, and his dad is saying, I'm not coming. Because they are high, they're intoxicated. They perpetrate
all kinds of
from
abuse.
And you're coming back and your child, or they start threatening. Now, my question is, what are those security tips we can even teach the children that I could go home and tell my child that, hey, I heard the parents said you should do this. Should you shout when somebody is calling you? When somebody knocks on the door, should you just open door, lock yourself inside the house and wait till your mom comes? Because I'm concerned about this kids that are home. It's going to be a very long holiday.
So the tips before we go on our break.
Okay, yes, let me just say that most of the times when you go on the internet or you just go to gather general knowledge, you discover that the tips that are being shared are almost copied from one end to the other, and they are generally the same. And that's a challenge. And that's why when some people imbibe some of these tips, it doesn't work in their environment, it doesn't work in their own locality based on their peculiarities. First, from research is that you must look at the peculiarity of your environment, because there is environmental safety. What should be a safety tip for an environment like Lagos might not be what it should be, probably for a state in the northeast, because the security challenges, the safety issues there are not the same. So moving forward, we must teach our children, okay, to have confidence in all that spirit. A lot of children, when you sample their opinion, why they don't divulge the information, they know a lot, because we are all busy, morning, day, afternoon, night. But you discover that they give you 20% or less than 20% of the information that they have. And why? Because they lack confidence in the parents. They are afraid of you. They feel that you are like a lion or lioness when they are talking to you. They can't communicate with you. They can't easily divulge information because you will scare them. You will tell them not to ever say it again. Religion will set in, sense will set in. So first, we must be able to listen to our children, communicate with them, build confidence, with them. Let them know that I'm your father, I'm your mother, I'm here for your good, not to harm you or to beat you. That is not to disparage the fact that we can punish children. Punitive measures should be there, but in accordance to the law. That is the area of communication. Now, the other side of it is that we as parents, we must identify who are what are with and where they are at one time or the other. You must be able to know that my child is in the church by 2 p.m. By 3 p.m., my child will leave the church and be at home. We must also create time to have prior knowledge of what the children are doing. Your child could be in the house, but you don't know what the child is doing. It's not so much of stress, but it is so much of responsibility, because in some other clients, even to come and pick your children up from school, one of the parents have to show. I don't want to mention, but but in this part of the world, the father, the mother, everybody can just let the children go and send one person to go. And when something happens, you want to call this agency, you want to call that agency, and when they don't respond to give you result on time, you say your contract failed you.
Okay. Let's go for this short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's a word of marble. Learn something from it. Okay, welcome back. We've been discussing with the Lagos State PRO Command of the NSCDC, sorry. Okay, now, I want to talk about this particular discussion we had. What you are doing in primary schools, in secondary schools, in regards to the bad vices in the midst of our children, our future. You talk about cultism in primary schools. Hello, somebody, are you listening to me? Mom is there. If you're in the office, please, maybe you should just pause a while and just listen to this. Cultism in primary schools. I have seen. When I said I've seen, I understand, because I try to monitor from governments around me, and I see. Now, what are those areas that you come in, and how do you help to make this thing, to work it out in the midst of these children? What are the responsibility of the parents? How are they involved in this children getting into these bad vices in school?
Okay, looking at the social vices, we discover that social vices continue to metamorphose from one age to another, from one generation of people to another. You cannot disparage the fact that even when you were growing up, when I was also growing up, there were no vices that we saw. Okay, some of us might be even tempted to take up one or the other. Okay, but maybe the
cultism was not there then in primary schools.
But maybe the saving grace, for a host of us might be parenting. And that brings me to the issue of parenting. Okay, parenting has been underplayed. Parenting has been undermined, it has been demeaned as though it's not a serious necessity. It's a vital necessity. Very, very, very vital. A lot of great people today, if you ask them, will or must allude to the fact that one of the major reasons for their successes in life is good parenting. Their parents had time for them, their parents checked on them, their parents took time to be responsible about what they want to be in life and ensure that they actually do their own bit to see them through to a particular point and age in life. Cultism in the elementary school is absurd, it's satanic, it's barbaric. It should not be heard of. It should not even be heard of in the secondary school, let alone what we have been used to over the years at the tertiary level. Now, but where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Sometimes tolerance has limits. There is a limit to the level you tolerate certain vices. And that's why we need to call on government, relevant stakeholders, the media like you, to see how we can come together and find new cause to stamp out cultism, bullying, sexual assault, harassment in our schools. They are not supposed to be tolerated. They are supposed to be kicked out with everything that is in us. And how do we go from here? First, children who come into these elementary schools must be profiled. They must be screened. We must know where they are coming from, so that we'll be able to adjust the curriculum. We'll be able to adjust the way we take in children. These were the culture that were there. People don't just come in. There's an age they get to, there's a maturity level, the background, the home where are you coming from. And those that are already in schools, the need for proper, psychological tests. Because some of these children, apart from the issue that they have lost it from the home, they're also being influenced today by older ones. You hear of defilement. How does that come in? Defiles another age. Is it not the older ones? Yes. They need to know that there are red flags that are not supposed to be touched on their bodies. They need to be told in our schools. Apart from being told, there is need for proper sensitization. And most of the sensitizations you have there, you just have people, experts, even societies, security agencies, go to school, talk to the children. You are talking to the children and you are leaving the parents. And these are the people that are supposed to be there with their children to show responsibility. To show that I didn't just bring these children to the world, but I also brought them to the world to be responsible, because accountability is important.
Very, very key.
People must be accountable for the behaviors, the conduct of their children, not just the school teachers and tutors alone. You can't leave it to them. When they are sport at home, you now pack them and bring them to the school teachers and just push them there and feel that their teachers will do magic.
They will teach you.
That won't be magic. Most of the things we learn first were from the home. And that's why there's a saying in my language that charity begins at home. And that cannot change. And it has not changed all over the world. Look at other climes. We can even say thank God there. When you look at other climes, you have active shooter incidences. A child was asked recently, what he wants to become, and he said he wants to be a killer.
Yes,
and that went viral. That should stir something in the heart of our people here before we get to that level where our children will now start saying they want to be a killer. Because killing is now cheap. People take lives of others innocently for no reason. And somebody is listening, somebody is watching, and is a child. And what do you think will happen in the heart of that child? He will also want to model his or her life in that regard. If there are no punishments, if there are no changes, if there are no serious, measures to take some of these things out, and that's where I think we should draw it. We should draw that line. Parenting is key.
Honestly, I'm thinking at this point that if your child commits a crime, the parents too should be punished. Because if I
is there anything like that?
We should get to that point.
Is there anything like that? No. We are yet to get to that level.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if your child commits a crime, for instance, you too as a parent face the
you have a responsibility over that child.
Because bullying, like when you talk about bullying, because it starts from bullying.
Yes.
And it's really when you go to schools, especially.
It goes a long way.
I know bullying is bad now.
Yes, it is.
Even in the countries that people want to jump
they
drop their children there, they call them from that side.
And some of them bring them back home.
This is where I'm even going to. You're leaving the country, you're taking your children to go to school, you're not there to want, because here we still have the African training. You can still caution your child,
yes.
But over there you don't
have any.
And then you go there, you raise those ones and bring them here to come corrupt the ones that we have, the systems that we already built. Because that's what has been happening of lately. And then you see that, and you're feeling like, oh, and then they come here. And then when it's beyond there, you now bring them back again and say, oh, let the schools here come. But now, this is it. What's your agency doing in terms of awareness in schools, generally? I'm sure you're doing a lot in that area. Like, what's the awareness level like when it comes to your agency, when it comes to safety in schools?
Yes, the civil defense is very proactive when it comes to safety in schools. Like I laid the foundation earlier. So to avoid such repetition, I must say that we don't wait for schools to invite us.
Really?
That's one note.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't wait for schools to invite us, because safety of schools and safety of school children, tutors, administrators, teachers is paramount to NSCDC. We're basically doing nothing outside the mandates that we are saddled, to do by the federal government, by the act establishing the corps, than ensuring today in Nigeria, all our schools are safe. That the school children are safe. That abduction, kidnapping should not be heard of from the school. That tutors, administrators, teachers should not be beaten by children. Children also, the school children also beat up their
tutors.
Against them.
They do.
They send letters of warnings to them in their homes, go to their private apartments, tell them you can't come to school tomorrow. These are things that we must expose, so that they will know and be cautioned wherever they are that it won't also be business as usual anymore. Especially under the watch of Mr. Edolson, the Keshiro, the State Commander NSCDC, who has also been talking with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education in Lagos State to see how they can, improve on safety of schools and school children. Especially now that it's in the implementation strategy level. Like I said, we have the coordination center in the national headquarters, and we're working on that with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to see that Lagos carries, the excellence it's known for, and to ensure that in this regard, peace, safety is restored back to our schools. Children can go to the schools, have their lessons, have their education, and come back home and come out in flying colors. And tutors like we used to have in the days of old can say, that's my son. I trained him, I trained her. Yeah. She's now a doctor, she's now in 400 level. Wow. She's now in the US, she's now in the World Bank. And those are the things that make our teachers happy. Not only the reward of remuneration.
Yes, so that's what make I remember. As you were just talking, I just remember Fashola, when he decided to give one of his teachers, when he was in school, a house during his tenure, and try to get, this was my teacher. And it goes a long way.
Very long way.
Irrespective of, even we have entrepreneurs and people who are philanthropists who say, wow, this was my lecturer. Yes. Wow, this is how he's living. No, I'm going to do this for his 60th, his special days, memorable things. Now, as we round up, I just want to chip in there.
I also want to give one of my teachers, maybe an automobile.
That would be lovely, and God will help you. God will help you. God will help each and every one of us that have that heart of generosity. Like somebody will celebrate him tomorrow. Now, as we round up, I want to ask, is it possible for these schools, whether private or government schools, because we do have or hear that when they're having the inter-house sports, they do have clashes, they come together, there's fights after the inter-house sport, during or after. Is it possible for schools to invite NSCDC, or any of the security agents to be on ground when they're having things like this, to guide against, to let them know that this school is known for safety and we don't want any? Is it possible things like that is put in place?
Yes, the state commandant in a few time, before he took office, okay, we had letters, correspondences to his office inviting him, to be a guest in one of the inter-house sports activities that was done in a particular school.
Okay.
It does not matter whether it's government or private school.
Yeah.
And after he settled down,
they will always come.
He worked on it, and you'll be surprised that he went there himself.
That's good.
Yeah, he went there himself.
That's good.
And he was also there with some other commanders of other security agents.
That's good.
That's to show you that we accept such invites, we accept such correspondences, because it also gives security. It also expresses the kind of persons that we are and what we stand for. That we're not just doing it by lip service, we're actually doing what we say.
Yeah, I think for emergency, I've seen a lot. I've seen you so many times on ground, and I keep kudos to you.
I've also, on behalf of the service in Lagos, gone to do a lot of public awareness, sensitizations in private schools, in primary schools, and all of these coming from NSCDC.
Well, thank you very much.
It's so good. It's so good to have you.
Of safety, and I know, like I used to say, when you see interviews like this, you don't digest it, send it across, share it with families, let them hear, because this is very important. It comes across everyone. Family is all about you and I. That's why we're here, and I know it's going to be a very graceful holiday for all the parents out there.
Yes, so we want to say a big thank you to our dear Lagos State PRO in person of Deputy Superintendent of Corps Oluwaseun Abolumi. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. We are not taking it for granted. And we want to believe, is there any toll-free number we can call when it comes to security if I cannot come? At least if Mountain refused to go to Mohammed should be able to do a call to Mountain.
Yes, there are links to the emergency number of Lagos State. When you put a call
through, 767 or 112. Wow.
If you put a call through, they can also link us to actually respond to cases of.
So 767 or 112 is the number. It's a toll-free line. It's not going to remove any charges from you. Just
you can walk into any of our offices at the local governments, at the division.
So your final word as we take our leave?
Yes, my final word. I must say that security is collective. Security is everybody's business. At this time where we have a lot of challenges economically, I like to implore people to be patient, to be resilient, and also to gather intelligence for security agencies. We are not spirits. We don't live in the blues. We don't live in the moon. Please gather intelligence, help us out so that we can help the community and the larger society. So we say, see something, say something, and not just say something. Also, you have the capacity to do something. And I'm inviting you to the August edition of the Lagos NSCDC Public Relations Monthly Clinic that we use to sensitize our personnel so that they can serve the public better and also stakeholders.
Hey, thank you. You surely see us there. After the show, we just breeze in.
30th August.
We'll be there. By God's grace, we'll be there. So I want to say thank you to you. Tomorrow is going to be another wonderful day. As we'll be discussing, is marriage a solution to loneliness? Marriage, is it a solution to many people are in marriages? Is that a solution to their loneliness? We'll be talking more about that. Joy, over to you.
Alright, thank you very much for being a part of Family and Values this morning. Yes, I'm excited because tomorrow, I've been telling you from last week, tomorrow finally is the day. Don't worry, just stay tuned till I sit down. Thank you, we love you, Have a great day.
Okay, even as you have a great day, like I said, when you have each morning with you, let there be flow of love, and also let there be light of happiness that surrounds you. Let that happiness, let it spread around. You have been seeing us laughing. It's not just about the laugh. It's all about from the inside, and it's able to come out to express the goodness that you have in you. So I want to say thank you once again. Beautiful Joy. Tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I don't want to say in advance.
Tomorrow, I want to say a big thank you to everyone. Thank you to Chief Steve Ojo. Thank you to SM, our station manager, and also to our HP, to Twitch, all the SM family. Thank you to our fellowship, to the likes of Johnson and Kay, and also to the MCR people, our editor. We love all of you, Andrew, Tolu, and everyone. I can't mention their name here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We hope to see you tomorrow. Please go and like and follow all our social media platforms, and please share. Don't just love and see it. Share, let people hear, let people see. And like I said, we need sponsors. We need you to bring your products and services. This is a family platform. It's a family fellowship. It's where we talk about the first primary place the nation stands on: family, peace, love, and joy. On that note, we hope to see you tomorrow. Bye now.